sunshine. We're gonna do a little bit of sunshine outside today, but it's already underway. Been up for hours already working, editing videos. As you can see behind me, it still takes a bit of more time. I think this one's taking its sweet ass time. I don't know what's going on with Lucas Clip, but it's not working like video second. I can tell you that. Today's last things I've been working on is the virtue vices thing in my head, especially since I've been wearing the Mostly Saints. I've got the Mostly Saints hat, so that's your halo and horns right there. And this is about the mixing of your virtues, because most of us are practicing different virtues, or we let our vices speak more than our virtues. And I was like, wait a minute, this is an exit. And I was watching this girl explain it, but it was pretty in depth. And I was like, what you really want and what you're actually going after and why it doesn't work for you. That Saints addiction leg out. Let's go. So the girl was pretty cool about it. 7 deadly sins, 7 chakras, and which one's in alignment with which one, going all the way up from lust and really seeking like self-love instead of vanity, and what we're really seeking and these kind of things. But it was a switch up that I wanted to show you, because there was a little map here. There's a little explanation of what's going on. She did a better job than me, but I'm going to go ahead and already play this. But our pride goes to humility, our greed goes to generosity, our anger goes to meekness. It's really a weird word to actually put out, meekness. Lust is chastity, kindness, envy is kindness, sloth is diligence, and gluttony is temperance. So this is kind of a Catholic way of saying it. It's not exactly the best way of saying it, but it was one of the ways to say it. Well, sorry for smoking and explain it, but let's see if I can't find something that I've been viewing this whole time. And it was really cool, because I did a bunch of screenshots, because I thought she was genuinely on point. The girl that did the video and explaining it, I took some screenshots of it. Let's see, I thought I had it prepared here. I want to see if I can find the videos, because it's not doing what I asked it to do, but let's do it anyway. I'm going to go ahead and find it here on my channel. Let's see, where's the history mysteries on YouTube. Mostly Saints, if you're not already subscribed, had a girl explaining it. I think it's really mostly on here. Mostly on here, and I wanted to come and appear on the other version, which is being stingy, not showing. So let's go ahead and roll a join. It's my first one of the morning. Been making a lot of phone calls, even last night, exhausted 3 nights in a row. It's a hat trick. Just making phone call after phone call, turning myself into a machine, you know what I mean? And going after the dream, the multi-million-dollar dream. I'm a multi-millionaire, already saying it out loud. Let's see, where's my history and my shorts? We're gonna go find it. How do you view all of them? I'm not sure. Real quick, shorts. And then I'll scroll down, and there was a girl, and I hope she explains it. Yeah, I think it was yesterday. Shorts. Yesterday's. And it was pretty cool, because she was like really saying what people really want. And I say, like, it's hard when you say something to someone, you be like, I really want to be a millionaire. But then it's like, okay, you got to do these steps to get to become a millionaire, And then it becomes, well, never mind, I don't want to be a millionaire, Like, I was just joking. I just want the appearance to be a millionaire, or people to think that I'm rich, or to actually earn it, right? A self-made millionaire would be the proper way to explain it, and that would be the right vocation or explanation. I think a lot of us just go, oh yeah, I just want to, you say something and you just hope that it happens, kind of like a kid, kind of like magic, kind of like imagination. But this is a little bit more in depth. It's like, if you really, 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 really wanted it, then the calls ain't shit. Your excuses ain't shit. You just make it happen, and that's all that matters, is just making it happen, Captain. And I'm trying to explain that she was saying that each realm, and I don't really want to classify our 7 deadly sins as chakras. I don't know if anybody else has done that before, but to say it's moving inside me, or that this level of hell is in my throat chakra, only gluttony because I want to eat, kind of thing. But it's not like that kind of depth. I wanted to say the whole motherfucking thing. And it's like, this is really happening. And a lot of us are confused by it. And they're like, why is it happening to me? And why don't I know what section it's in? Or is it my gluttony? Is it my envy? Is it my vanity? I don't know if it really necessarily shifts in your body, but there's some explanations of what we're yearning for and what we're actually wanting. So it's like, we were just talking with Yoni. He's like, I want a beer. You know, like, for sure, I want a beer. And like, you won't touch my beer, I won't touch your weed. And I was like, deal. And it was like, if you're the wanting, then there's always something that you go, ah, right? That relief, like, man, I just wanted that Coca-Cola. Ah. And as soon as we get it, it gives us a sense of relief. It's subtle, but it's true. But it's like what we're yearning for is like a system or something, a substance, a feeling to get us away from what we're already feeling inside and go, ah. Finally, I can decompress. Finally, I don't feel stressed. Finally, I don't have that lump in my throat. And that's what we've been seeking, right? Everybody's out there in the real world trying to seek it, find it, try to mimic it, or find another substance that'll give us that relief, that sense of that we just released and we're finally relieved and we're not still fucking choked up inside or animosity or any of those things. This is the hard part, you know, and finding real things that give you the same dopamine high and the same release and that same relief is one of the hardest things to find, because it's not exactly like it kind of works. Some things they kind of numb, but then the pain comes back. That's like most of it. That's why it's not a consistent working solution. We're talking about solutions here, right? You know, things that will actually work in your life, systems that will take place, and you'll be like, thank God I have this as a healthy system or relief or for release, right? The gym is a healthy form of release. The walking is a healthy form of release. Going outside is a healthy form of release, instead of being choked up inside all day and underneath the, what do you call these kind of lights? I forget what kind of lights they call them. I forget the name of those, the lights, but that kind of system where we're inside of our heads and we're just in dread and we don't know how to release ourselves and we don't know how to relieve ourselves. It's almost like trying to hold and take a pee. If you really got to pee and you're on a long journey, that discomfort is what this is, you know, instead of finding a Gatorade bottle and taking care of it. Good luck, girls. But, you know, it's one of those situations where it's like, this is imperative to me. And if I don't get this off of my chest, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And this is what a lot of withdrawal symptoms feel like. This is what a lot of us feel like with our anxiety goes up, or we don't even know how to flow. That's what this really tends to look like. So I'm like trying to find this video because I found her completely insightful, and maybe it's just buried deep in my scrolling here. But she was talking about the chakras, each one having them. But I wanted to go through with the ones that I was looking at and just say what was replacing what, and then we'll go for a smoke, and then we'll go from there. So if you have pride, which I would think the next name for pride is vanity, right? Our vanity is going to be like our ego. And that's why I want to find this video, because the chick was explaining it very well. But like our pride, loving or esteeming oneself above others and above God, and the root of all our sins. This is a little too much. I don't do G's, H's, and J's. No Jesuses, no hallelujahs, and no God. So this is just the way Catholics are spinning it, or Christians are spinning it. The other girl was very much more spiritual about it. And actually, let me see if I can't find it here. Hold tight. Okay, I found it. It was Love Again Jen. Love Again Jen. And she's like a little Spanish chick, and she was explaining these right here, you know, on her YouTube. I should probably subscribe. I'm always asking people to subscribe, so let's get her subscribed. She's at 26.5 subscribes, but it was the classification. So we're to 7 laws, schooling, looking for it, what you really looking for, what she really said, what's going on with the sons, maybe it isn't so quick to grab. For her, it almost seems like everything is in a category, and everyone has its own system. Lack, peace, joy. That's good. Come on, girl, show it's not spirituality on shirts. I don't know what else is, but it was the what you're actually wanting and what you're actually seeking, and having that alignment. So there's a lot of words like attachment, judgment, and things like that. But what I liked about it was she went back to the 7 deadly sins. Okay, here we go. The 7 hidden deadly sins explain your scarcity. I think it might be this one. Let me make sure I got it right.
Lust is normalized in this society.
Yes, this is
Down, you are seeking union with another soul,
So
not with random strangers. This keeps you depleted. Gluttony, the overconsumption of food, alcohol,
Gluttony.
substances, when really the soul wants to be nourished. But society wants you to overconsume as a business model. Greed, when you are craving more and more material things, when really your soul wants generosity, envy, and jealousy, and wishing ill onto other people who have hurt us is so easy for us to do. But deep within our hearts, we just want to love others.
Wow.
Wrath is the anger that
Wrath.
we project onto other people.
What's the next
Instead of
one?
using our voices for justice, for what is right, for the passion within us that we want to express. Sloth, the overusage of sleep, but you might not get enough sleep. You might love to hustle and grind. Satan can't grab you in sloth, and he will grab you in performance. Deep down, your soul is craving peace.
Peace.
Pride, the overconfidence, the ego that you are constantly right, but deep down, you have self-hatred. All you truly want
Pride.
is self-love. When you identify which of these sins you are heavily committing, you are able to instead
1, 2,
apply
3,
the
4,
opposite of
5,
what your
6,
soul
7.
is actually craving.
So again, I don't know if each location is correct. I mean, I try to write these out and with one hand, and it was just only frustrating me. But look, lust is union. So it would make more sense that everybody's trying to get their rocks off, but they're trying to get their rocks off with the right boss, somebody that they're attracted to, somebody that pulls the reins, somebody that mimics their same values. You're looking for the same. Everybody's looking for the not the Hollywood fairy tale, but at least a union with somebody where they're not depleted, just giving out all their energy in lust format and never getting replenished. Ain't nobody trying to have time for that. And then the gluttony, which is my favorite sin of all time, you know, just eating my way to the top and feeling like I'm full, or maybe that's in my throat chakra, I'm not quite sure, but you want to be nourished. And when I'm breaking fast, which I'm about to break fast shortly here thereafter, when I'm about to break fast, right, I'm talking about the food that I'm about to eat. My buddy's like, I don't think it's a good idea. And I'm like, nobody asked you, first and foremost. But second of all, I need to get the ability to assume the calories. Like when me and Yoni were talking about the other day, he's like, you don't want just a hamburger. You go to Hesburger, McDonald's, it's a McDonald's burger. It's a shitty way of getting your nutrients. Sure, it cured our hunger. You get the Coke sugar rush, the salty French fries, and you get the burger that makes you feel like it's got bacon and everything's sufficient to suffice you, but it's not. And it'll never will be. And that's what we all end up trying to find out and figure out in our lives, is like, this isn't nourishing. Real nourishment is what he did, making us a real meal, going to get real chicken sandwiches and curating the best. It's like his highlight of the day. I'm like, I'm a good eater. I'm grateful that he knows how to cook, because I'm like, sure, just make it. You know what I mean? I'm just hungry. But, you know, what type of food are you eating? You know, like, is it really nourishing? Is it healthy? Most of us would just be like, just feed me, I'm hungry, fuck it, I don't have time for this shit, I like convenience. It's not nourishing. It's not filling you up. Matter of fact, I was hungry right after we had those burgers, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna need another burger. And I already smashed 2 burgers, and I went to his house and smashed another 2 burgers just to get the fullness that I want to get. And maybe that's my gluttony showing itself right there. And then greed, it definitely goes down to saints giving. I had to ask the words that I was feeling, but I wasn't greed or chasing anymore. It's generosity and giving. It's saints giving that gives me that feeling. I couldn't figure it out, you know, what kind of feeling I was feeling after we fed the homeless, but it's definitely a good feeling. And it's the generosity that I'm not taking up more space than I'm worth, and that I'm giving more than I got, and then I always have enough. And that's something that doesn't keep me chasing. And that was obviously the envy, I think that comes from people that get more attention and love than we are seeking, and we're like, hey, that guy's getting, or she's getting that guy's attention, or he's getting all the girls, and we're like, all I want is someone to really love, is what the real sentence, the complete sentence is to say, and that's all of us. We just ain't using our big boy words or big girl words, and we need to. We should be able to express ourselves honestly, truly, and completely, and say, instead of just chasing somebody that, like, oh, she looks cute in my car, but she doesn't really love me, or, oh, I did my hair, but he didn't really compliment me or notice me. These are the things that we want. We want somebody to really love us, warts and all. And then it's like wrath. Wrath is that anger that eats us up inside, that someone hurt us, and people will hurt us, disappoint us and let us down, and we'll be like, man, you really hurt me. And part of our wrath is that we want them to hurt too. As my Scorpio friend said once so eloquently while she was crying, she's like, I don't want to hurt alone, Mark, and I was like, damn, that's what it is, like, whoa, that's all of us. No one wants to hurt alone. Everybody wants somebody in their lives to, like, help them out through the hurt, and that's what we call it, justice. We want to have justice in our lives. That one girl told me once, shout out to Britt said, she's like, I want to be unfuckwithable. And I was like, God damn. I was like, what's your workout goals? So most people like lose weight, gain muscle tone. Hers was like, I want to be unfuckwithable. And I was like, God damn, that's really calling it succinctly. You know what I mean? I don't want anybody to be able to fuck with me. I want to be able to handle my own. And I guess that even means Krav Maga or MMA or whatever else she was participating in. She meant it. She did not want anybody to fuck with her. And I totally agree with her. Indomitable, unstoppable, unfuckwithable. That's going to have to be a shirt. And then let's do the next one. She said sloth, which is really, lazy or sleeping too much, or, just no energy, which is a kind of, I don't want to call it Kaizen. That means more like your purpose in Japanese. But in China, they're Chinese, they have these kids that are quitting. I don't know what the actual term is because I don't speak a lot of Japanese, but like there's a term for just like leftovers. The girls are leftovers if they're not married by 26, 28, something like that. And the boys are just shutting off and shutting out in the world, and they're just doing nothing. I think it's called nothing men or something like this, where they absolutely do nothing at all, and they quit basically at life and said, that's it. I'm not going to work in a factory and get turned into a slave. I'm not going to just let my life go away and do nothing in this society that does nothing for me, kind of thing. And that's what they're doing. They've checked out. I don't know the term of it off the top of my head, but I know a lot of people that know what I'm talking about. So that's also the part of it, and that's your peace. So if you really need is some peace, some time to just sit there, smoke your little joints, be okay with life, not always chasing, not always wanting, that's what they want us to do, is always want and chase, and that keeps the consumerism going, and the taxes paid, and everybody gets out into debt and works the slave labor away. But it's also going like, I have enough, I am enough, and I'm at peace, which I think is priceless, and everybody wants it. So everybody wants some peace in their life. And then the last one, but not last, was the pride, and that's our ego, straight up, not our amigo. And what we really want is self-love, something that doesn't have to be measured or show off to anyone else. And it's like where I think Saint's Addiction's at, where you get this extremes of honestly flawed, and saying, hey, sometimes I'm like this, sometimes I'm not like that, and that's the way that I feel. So let me have to restart now. I have an update on my computer. We're going to restart and go for a smoke. But isn't that what we would all want? Is to have enough love inside of ourselves that we don't have an imposter syndrome, and we don't let our anger show, and that we get along with a lot of people. That would be the beneficial part of it all. But here we go. Not all things align in Rome. I don't even think I need my sunglasses out there. It's kind of a cloudy day. So let's let the update go. I'm not going to turn my computer on. Let's go smoke the spliff and enjoy this shit. Enjoy this thing called life, not the shit, and go enjoy the outside and the weather real quick. Let's make it up. I don't know where I did with my lighter, but it's 7% complete. But yeah, I mean, the thing was just shocking me, that we go for these desires and they just don't complete what the itching or the sensation or the feeling that we thought that we wanted, right? We thought that we were just hungry, but really we were looking for more nourishing meals. I could smash burgers all day, but it wouldn't actually fulfill me inside, and I thought that was fucking crazy. And then without the most what do you call it, religious version of this, which I don't want to. I'll spare you the God version of it, the J's, H's, and G's. The Jesus. I don't know. It's disconnecting. This has got. I don't know. It's disconnecting. This has got too much G's for Jesus, H's, and J's, but it's gonna go. This keeps going in and out. I don't know. It's going in and out. I don't know. I need a new SIM card, but this is what it is. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where we think we're missing out, so we look at someone else and go like, okay, they have more than me, and then we're angry instead of working on ourselves and go after what we want in ours. We're mad that they got it and they found it and we haven't got it. So that's part of the greed and part of the anger too. We'll get angry. We're like, man, how come he's got what I want, or she's got the man that I want, and we'll get angry. And we didn't go to the gym like them. We didn't learn violin. We didn't learn any lessons, but we want the same thing that they got because that's what a 7 deadly sin is. It's very deadly. Shigar, what's up, brother? Thank you for watching, man. Sloth is just wasting your time. This precious time in our lives that have life and nature and nurture and wind and water and all these blessings that are in this universe and on this planet, we just sloth it away and just be like no energy towards it, and we waste life. That should be a sin. Let's see. I already talked about gluttony. Envy, we already talked about. Envy kind of goes with greed. They kind of get so close, but they are two separate sins. Your envy is your ego, and your greed is not your amigo. It's basically the opposite of it. It's like I'm running out and everybody else has got something, and it's just a perspective. It's not actually as balanced as we like to think it is. We're like, oh, they got so much. Maybe you don't know what they're going through, and that's what I like to tell myself. It's like, sure, they might have that beautiful girl, but maybe she's hitting them at the end of the night or sleeping around with them. You don't finish the sentence, and therefore you stay on the sin and not the actual what's actually happening. And then lust and chastity. I don't think it's chastity for lust. I just think she's right. It's union. It's union that we're seeking. We're seeking somebody that we can plug our energy into and that we can trust them and love them and have some loyalty with that program. I was watching Homeboys today. My buddy's parents came by. Parents, such a lovely couple. She kept laughing, and then she kept explaining, and like he couldn't understand me, so she was like his interpreter. And I'm like, what a fucking team. And to realize that they're going through cancer and some real shit, and I'm like, they're just like a happy human beings, and they're like, yeah. And I'm like, you left him at the Murky at the lake house? Where is he? And he's like, yeah, he's there alone. But besides for their son and our friendship and their family, it was cool to watch them interact with each other and actually see a couple that keeps laughing and brings joy to each other's lives and makes and finishes each other's sentences. It's about all of those things. So I was just like, okay, that's what it's really about. You want connection and union. You don't just want lust. It wasn't just to find a hole, fill the hole, and baby comes out. It's more that, we can develop this baby together as a team and become fundamentally sound together. So I'm not preaching everything, you know what I mean? Not everything is for everybody. Not everybody has a dream. Not everybody's going to flow through with everything. And, some people are going to stare with their mouth open like, this guy, I don't care. But know this, that everybody's going to have 7 deadly sins and they're going to practice them. And they're all going to kill us somehow, some way, and we don't even see it. Maybe it's not the first hamburger, but maybe it's the diabetes later, or maybe it's not the person that you're sleeping with, but it's the loneliness after. We don't see it that way, so that's why I transform it and explain it this way. Saints addiction all day, mostly saints, perfectly imperfect over here. And it was just like an eye opener for me that it was like, okay, that's not just a horny feeling, that's a union feeling. Like I'm seeking someone to be in unit, someone to make love to, and then they can make love to me, and then we can plug in and hopefully make babies. We're just not really saying what we really want or what's really happening, so we get disconnected. And it's like, right, anger is the greatest enemy, bro. It's all 7 of them. They're all coming on there, dude. That's the Mostly Saints hat, bro. I just made it. It's my Euro look. Gee, got the like the shirt, languages on shirt. But that's what it is. That's what we're really seeking. So you'll have all of us will commit the 7 deadly sins. We'll all take turns on them, and which one fits us more than the other, but we'll all interpret them all. It's kind of like the wheelhouse of emotions. Everybody's gonna get to feel every emotion in life. You're gonna feel love and loss. You're gonna feel hate and love. You're gonna feel angry and then sullen. You know, like this is, everybody gets their turn, and maybe some of them get more turns than other, but all 7 get touched, and then hopefully all 7 of the virtues get touched too. That you practice generosity, that you practice kindness, that you practice. What are my other ones here? Kindness, temperance, diligence. You know, it's the opposite. You know, that hard work, dedication to be diligently after something instead of slothing around and being lazy and never accomplishing anything. These are these things, dude. This is the situations that we all get in. So it's like just me learning these things, just like you, virtues and vices. You know what I mean? Mostly saints addiction. It was the extreme of everything, that I could be extremely kind but extremely angry, and then I could be extremely giving, and then extremely cheap. You know what I mean? Like it was all those ranges inside of me. So I embrace all my envies, all my sins and my wins. How about that? That's the best way I could put it. And that's Saints addiction. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you get a chance to go outside and get into this sunshine. I know that's what I'm gonna do this time, and just keep shining. Don't be so hard on yourself. There's the tree. Yes, bless. Let's get some sunshine, shall we? And just remember that all human beings, you know, and against us. That's just something that I wanted to prove. So, the main problem is the lygrothism. Many of those don't come out of their comfort zones. Many tries, but that's the transfer in the morning. Motivation a little late today, dude. I've been working all day, bro. Usually I try to do it at 10:10, but we've been working, so I get to do it anytime I want to, and that's a blessing. So the sun is shining. There's some clouds going on out here. It's going to be raining again, but I'm outside and I'm enjoying my life. So you should be doing the same. Get off this thing. Stay encouraged, stay motivated, stay determined. Go get Saints addiction, peace and love. And as always, chica. That means goodbye, but not forever in Phoenix. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. The other side of your fear, the other side of your excuses, and the other side of the world, because that's where I'll be. Peace. If you guys have any more questions, go ahead, fill it out on the new website. Saints Addiction is popping. We're getting a lot of attention with intersect.ai, doing AI formations as far as like your social media, your sites, what is the other ones that we're doing, and the voice AI. Hit me up, bro. I've been in the DMs and it's really been happening. So I'm grateful. I keep making the phone calls. I keep shining. It's warm in my back. It's warm in my soul. And I hope it warms up y'all. Peace. Chigata.